Hello and good morning, everybody. And thank you for this opportunity. It's most auspicious occasion. Now, certainly my first foray into the world of PENNA unknowingly. And this is a really fantastic project that I'm really happy to share with you. So we're just very grateful, really, for this opportunity and hope that you can share this, because the idea is that actually this initiative needs to grow. And so I'll talk about the background to it. So I'm Giles Matz, I'm the head of equality and diversity, and I was approached by Lilia Coleman Jones's mother at a time when she'd been staying with us on the children's ward E39 because she had a rare blood cancer, which so she had treatment for that, and then because of her situation, she moved on to Leeds Children's for more specialist help. But during that time, Mrs. Jones got in touch, and she said, "You know, my daughter's not been very well, and it's very difficult to kind of I don't know where to start with this. Can you help me?" And of course, it's an inclusion initiative, and yes, and the bottom line for this was that actually Lilia is a young person with autism, and as a young person with autism, she was experiencing some sensory anxieties on the ward, and you know, she'd really taken the time out. She was a prolific blogger. She loved so many different things. Unfortunately, I never got to meet her, but I feel like I know so much about this young person. Yeah, that's great. So thank you for moving the slide forward there. And there is Lilia, and she's, as I understand from her friends and family, she's very outspoken, always willing to help. And she loved certain things in life. One of the things was chickens. One of the things was helping people. One of the things was that she liked lighthouses. So what happened is that her friends and family and school friends actually in Nottingham raised quite a bit of money doing various sponsored activities to help and support her. She was also prolific in trying to make awareness of bone marrow and so on. So she, because she was looking for a donor at the time. So sorry, it's quite emotive. So unfortunately, she did pass away in Leeds, and this really made us want to redouble our efforts to ensure that the legacy of Lillian is subtitled Lilia's Legacy. Was such that we could make a difference for people like her on the autistic spectrum, where they may experience anxiety in the hospital, on the ward, and it came down to two things really. One of the things was about noise. So, you know, what happened was that there was a refurb in the ward, estates and facilities, you know, really good charity donated some TVs and so on, and they put the TVs up, and unbeknown to everybody, the location of them in the corner of the room, and the TVs had speakers at the back, meant that the sound was reverberating off, and this was causing a sensory anxiety. So essentially, Lilia just said, wouldn't it be great if people just wore headphones? Because, you know, I've been on an aeroplane, and on an aeroplane, everybody wears headphones, and then that way nobody's disturbing anybody. And that's really how this was born. So we met with Mrs. Jones. We said, you know, I tell you what, let's do an autism audit first of all of the ward. And she said, yeah, that would be great, and we're happy to support that. So that took place, and the findings were really good. And then the next stage was that actually it was quite noisy, and there should be hopefully more things we could do. So the idea was born that we would have supply earphones, but of course earphones, the TVs were quite high up, so then we had to go for splitters. And but cut a long story short, this project was born, and it was so simple. Once we'd sourced the products, essentially long cabling, we encouraged patients and families to wear headphones, and with the splitters, they were dual use, so you could actually listen. I suppose it's the old like children's thing, you know, listen with mother or listen with father or listen with whoever you want to, so that you have a shared experience, but you're not disturbing others. So some very subtle posters went up and were developed and devised, all in partnership with Mrs. Jones, and we put them up, and people just loved them. And then whenever somebody came onto the ward, they could see that these were available, and then we had the opportunity from the ward reception would give them obviously a packaged splitter if they needed it, set of headphones, very, very low cost, and also just a little leaflet which explained what this legacy project was. And it just took off on the ward, and in fact other wards then started to get more interested in adopting it, irrespective of the fact it was started as an autism project, because it just reduced noise. It was just a nice, lovely, sensitive and dignified way of encouraging people just to reduce the noise, whether they're using iPads or whatever on the ward. And East Midlands Today, who had the local BBC broadcaster who'd covered Lilia's story previously, came and did a follow-up piece, and they got to they came onto the ward, and they interviewed some of the young people, and very, very young children on the ward, and with the headphones, and they were absolutely adorable. They just took to it. And it was just a really, it was a heartwarming day for the ward to be involved in that. Now, the legacy, again, is that we've tried to share this and have a platform to share this project at every opportunity. There's 5 other trusts which were just prior to the COVID lockdown and so on, were keen to take it up, and hopefully they will also be passing that information on. So it's just something that's really simple. I mean, long term, we have thought about, we were having an evaluation carried out as we speak. Long term, there are obviously environmental issues around procuring lots of sets of plastic headphones and stuff, but one of the things is that once the campaign gets established, actually it might be that we only have them for emergencies, and it's just the encouragement of bringing your own headphones when you come into a hospital, for example, recognizing that the impact on others, and particularly for people with autism, sensory difficulties and anxieties, it could play a huge part in making that a really dignified experience, calming, safe experience for them. So that's really it in a nutshell. As I say, this is all really about trying to get it known. If you want to watch the video, I don't think I put the link. It might be on the next slide, possibly. It's a very simple URL: www.tinyurl, or one word, .com/where-to-care, and it'll take you straight to the BBC East Midlands Today article. And yeah, well, I made it without blubbing, so that's great. Thank you.